From a former international student to a new international student, get in here. This video is for you. Hey besties. So now, whether or not you're in the UK because of work or study, see, this video is for you, my loves, because number one, UK go whine you, but my sister, my brother, no panic. Meaning, in this country, things will happen, but see, stand firm. Because see, once you are relocating, it's a different ball game. You are literally starting a different aspect of your life afresh. You're in a new country, a new continent, a new university, or a new workplace. If you are anything like me, you would feel very overwhelmed because, oh my God, what's happening? Do not panic, my brother and sister. With these tips, you're gonna be good to go. Tip 1, take care of your accommodation. Now, I even say have that sorted out as much as you possibly can because you cannot afford to be here and be stranded at all. Like, If you can get an accommodation by visiting sites like Zoopla, Spare Room, Gumtree, that will be helpful. If you have a child, the search will be higher because if you are single with no child, it's easier to get an accommodation than if you are coupled up, especially with a child or children. So that's something to take note of. But that does not mean you should panic because you will still get an accommodation, but it may take some time. For some people, you may need to get an Airbnb. Some people may need to pitch up with someone. But whatever the case, see, prioritize getting an accommodation as soon as possible because it is when you get an accommodation that it would feel like you are literally starting your life in the UK because a lot hinges on that. Now, in line with that, see, be very careful the contract you sign because some of these agents be moving mad and they will give you some contracts to sign. And once you've appended your signature on that contract, it is binding. It's now a legal document. So be careful. Don't just be signing anyhow. Do you hear me? Thank you. Now, you would usually pay a deposit depending on the contract. For some contracts, they would even ask you to pay for some months in advance. It just depends on the contracts available. Obviously, the more money you have, the more leeway you would have because a lot of these landlords would want a guarantor that is in the UK. Like the requirements could just be a lot. And if you have more money, it mitigates that because once you are able to pay a lot of months up front, it gets easier because in the UK, having money makes your life easier. Number 2, let's talk about finances. So now you're settled in your accommodation. The priority should be you opening a UK bank account. Now, it's advisable to start with an online bank, mainly because they don't have a lot of processes. Like the bureaucracy is not a lot. Like you can literally come to the UK today and open a UK bank account that is online. And the popular ones are Monzo and Revolut. I use a Revolut account and it is seamless. I know people that use Monzo and it's also seamless. I'm going to be putting in the description my Revolut link. So if you click on the link and open your Revolut account, I think they may give me something. So thank you as you do so. Now, it's important to have that online account because it helps you to have proof of address in a physical bank. So if you go to a bank like Lloyds, Barclays, they would ask you for proof of address. And if you don't have any job or you don't have anything, you just arrived, where is the proof? Now that online bank account can help you as proof of account. I have a Lloyds account. You can have any bank, it doesn't matter, but have a bank account as soon as possible because when you have a job, what account will you give them as your salary? Exactly. Regarding finances, it's okay for you to still be spending Naira because you may not get a job immediately. Yeah. And that's okay. Like people think you come to the UK and sharp you get a job. For some people it's that easy. For me it was that easy. But that does not mean that time is going to be easy for everyone. Some people take 3 months, 6 months to even get a proper job. And that's okay. The good thing is that there is dignity of labor. So any job you get, please, so far it is legal and you can do it, it's footing your bill, please do it. But if you've gotten nothing, you may still be converting money from Naira to pounds just for sustenance. And that's that is sincerely okay. Let nobody shame you about that. That is okay. If you are a student, regarding finances, take advantage of student discounts. There are always discounts for students in a lot of stores. So ask. If you don't ask, they would not tell you. Tip 3. By the way, these points are in no particular order. You can go from 1 to 10. There are really no process to it. It just depends on you. Number 3, register with your GP. Now remember, you paid your IHS, your immigration health surcharge. So my dear, go and register with the GP. And it's very easy. As I'm talking to you, just Google GP near me and you will see centers near you. Go in there, tell them you want to register, go with your international passport, and they will guide you. That's very important in case you need any medical attention. Obviously, if you need an emergency medical attention, you can just get that through A&E, but it's important to have your GP. Number 4, get a UK SIM. There are various SIM cards in the UK. There is Lebara, EE, 3, Vodafone, O2. I use Lebara and I've had no issues. It's mwah. Now there are various other ones you can use. It just depends on you and what you want. And for me, I got my Lebara SIM from Nigeria. In the visa office, they gave all of us a SIM card, but if you don't have one, it's very easy to buy one and start using immediately. Now let's talk about transportation. Familiarize yourself with the local transportation, your buses, your rails. Familiarize yourself with that. Have a rail card if you're entitled. Also, depending on where in the UK you are in, you can also have Oyster cards. Obviously, you should have your Google map and familiarize yourself with it. One thing to take note of is, see, the buses in the UK, they're not gonna wait for you. Like, if they say time is this and you're not there, even if you are there a minute after and you can literally see the bus, a lot of them would not stop for you at all. Number 5, let's talk about work and studies. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, please give me a thumbs up. Thank you. Now, if you are studying, please enroll with your university. In fact, I advise you, if you're studying, do not miss your induction or your freshers week. See, information gets passed around during that time. A lot of people miss out on important information. Then it's months down the line that they are hearing things because they were not there in their freshers week or their induction. Please do not miss any of those things. But even if you miss it, then ask people that went there. Now, regardless, go and get enrolled in your university. If you're in the UK on a student visa, obviously you know that you have 20 hours to work. Then of course, if you're here on a skilled worker visa, you know that you're literally here to work. Now, regardless of whether you are on a student visa or a work visa, go and get your NIN. Your NIN is your national insurance number, and you need that to work. It's very easy to get one. You can just Google, how can I get my NIN? And you will find out how to do it. Very easy. And even if you don't get the NIN immediately, you can go ahead to still apply for jobs and put the reference number of your application in your job application. Number 6, understand the UK job market. See, the resume or the CV in the UK is not the same thing as in other places, because as someone that revamps and reviews people's CVs, I've done that for people in Nigeria and people that are in the UK, and the difference is like night and day. For instance, you cannot come here and be putting your local government or be putting your state of origin. Nobody cares about that. There are even some jobs you go for here that they will tell you should literally anonymize everything. Like, they don't even want to know your name because of the equality and diversity policy here, basically stating that CEO, they don't want to discriminate against you, so they don't need to know whether you're a boy, you're a girl. They just want to know if you have the skill set and the experience that they need. Then later on in the interview stage, then they'll get to know all of those information. So ensure that your CV and cover letter are tailored to the UK job market. Very important. Now, if you need help with that, you can check the description box for my services. Not only do I revamp CVs for a fee, if you want a template for a support worker CV, you can click the link in the description box and you will see how to get it. Let me explain. I revamp CVs, and obviously that comes at a cost, a higher cost. But if you don't want me to revamp your CV, you just want a general guideline for your CV, and the job you are applying into is a job in the healthcare industry, then just go and check the template. It is available at a cheaper rate and it will benefit you. But whatever the case, learn how to do a very good UK standard CV and cover letter. Also, familiarize yourself with job sites in the UK, sites like Indeed, Total Jobs, Track Jobs, even LinkedIn. A lot of people sleep on LinkedIn. You're looking for a job and your LinkedIn bio is not optimized. Are you playing? Why? Please, you can get jobs anywhere. Also, if you are struggling with getting jobs because of job experience, because I don't know why UK people, we see this person is new to the country, they'll be asking you for UK job experience. Now, you can get that experience through volunteering. Now, volunteering does not mean you'll be working there for free Monday to Friday. You can volunteer like 2 hours in a week. Yes, there are so many organizations, there are charities you can volunteer in, and you will get that job experience. So you are benefiting each other. You are giving them your service for free, and in return, you are getting their reference, and that counts as UK job experience. Let's talk about personal and social interactions. Prioritize joining communities, because one thing you should not do while you're in the UK is to be isolated. It's very easy to be isolated, very easy, because before you know it, you just stay here. Of course, people back home will be thinking, this person is enjoying. Only you know what is doing you, because let me tell you, one thing is, once you've left the shores of your country, especially if you're Nigerian, it's assumed that you've entered the land of milk and honey. People don't believe that you actually have issues, like you even have huge challenges. They don't want to hear, they don't believe, because in their head, you jackpot, so congratulations. But you alone know that, see, things are getting better. The more you look, the less you see. But see, don't worry. One thing you should not do is to be isolated, because it's very easy to actually become very depressed. Very easy. When you lack community, it's very easy. And one way to find that community can be in various ways. It can be in WhatsApp groups. There are so many WhatsApp groups depending on the city you are in. Try and get into one, please. If you don't want that, you can meet people, you can go to church. I'll talk about that in another point. But anywhere you're able to interact with your people, that's extremely important. And familiarize yourself with African stores wherever you are, because that would help you to eat better food. Cause there's so many like Asian stores, African stores, depending on the city you are in. Obviously, the more diverse your city is, the more accessible these things would be to you. Number 8, understand the legal and tax regulations in the UK. Some things you may not even totally understand, because even me that I'm here, some things I don't still totally understand, because sometimes you will see your salary and you're wondering what's going on. But of course, if you're a student working the 20 hours, I don't expect any issues at all. But obviously, if you're a worker and you're doing a lot of full-time work, then there will be a tax. You usually have a tax code, a tax bracket. And if you're earning way more than that, then you have more deductions to that. Now, if there is a mistake in your tax allocation, you can always call HMRC and they will sort that out for you if they pick their calls. Okay. Also, if you're driving, you can still use your Nigerian driver's license for like 1 year, after which you have to get your UK driving license, which is a whole different ball game. Number 9, start building your credit history. That's something that is very important. In the UK, credit is very important. It would help you in a lot of things. Now, you can build your credit history in different ways. If you want me to make a comprehensive video on building your credit history as a newbie, please let me know. But what I can say in this video, ensure that you're paying all your bills on time. Also, ensure that you're in the electoral register, because when you do that, you're going to be registered to vote. And the good thing is that you're showing on the system that you've been in that particular address for quite some time, and that builds your credit score. Some people build their credit score by having like phones, contract phones, but ensure that you don't put yourself in any dire condition where you have a contract that is very difficult for you to fulfill, especially if you don't even have like a stable job. Some people also get their credit history high by having credit cards. Whatever you do, ensure that you are paying on time and you're not defaulting in any way, because all those things will impact your credit score. If you are a student, learn to adapt to the academic standards and expectations of a student. This is a different story again, but let me just tell you, see, being in the UK and in Nigeria, two different things. So I'm using Nigeria because a large portion of my audience are Nigerians, and of course I'm Nigerian. But one thing to note, from wherever you are, studying in the UK is literally a different ball game. Like, I've released some academic videos relating to how to write critically. Please go and watch that video. Very important. Critical writing. I've also done a video on plagiarism. Very, very important. Go and familiarize yourself with those videos because they will guide you. Like, you can't afford to come here and think that, oh, if you could pass in your home country, then obviously you will pass here. It doesn't work like that. There are lots of people that come here and actually fail. And these are people that are naturally very intelligent because it's a different ball game. So you have to take note of that. Seek support in every ramification. Your lecturers are there to support you. They are not there to see you fail. They are not doing A is for God, B is for me, C is for you. No, they are there to support you. So please ensure that you seek that support out. If you are here on a student visa, then a lot is dependent on your studies. So as much as you're trying to make money, have a life, and do all that, don't forget to prioritize your academics because that's what is bringing you in this country. Obviously, you won't be on a student visa forever, but for now, if you are on that, please do the job well. Number 11, let's talk about sending money home. Now, you have no business sending money home when you are new to the country. No business at all. You better give yourself time. If you like, because you want to prove that, oh, I'm a good person. Oh, I'm kind. I'm selfless. You just arrived. You're literally sending money home. It will not stop. Oh, it will not stop. Obviously, if you just arrived and you want to be spending money anyhow you want, like, who am I to tell you how to spend your money? Nobody. So do anything. Now, regarding sending money home, whether or not it's immediately you are here or whenever, or maybe it's not even sending money home, maybe home is even sending you money because because sometimes, especially in the beginning stage, it can be difficult for some people, and sometimes, yes, home can be sending you money, and that's okay. Now, whatever the case, if you are thinking of how to like convert currencies, you can use various apps. There is World Remit. I use Lemfi. Is it Lemfi or Lemfi? Lemfi. I also use Nala. I'll put those links in the description box. When you use those apps, they would help you convert your currency. So you can convert Naira to pounds or pounds to Naira. The good thing is that if you are converting money from pound to Naira, you're going to be getting a lot more Naira than obviously if you're converting Naira to pounds because it's going to be a whole lot less. So that's something to consider. Number 12, understand UK time zones. Now, UK operates in Greenwich Mean Time, GMT, during winter time, and British Summer Time during summer. Now, what this means is the clock goes forward 1 hour in March and goes backward 1 hour in October. And that's why, especially if you're in Nigeria, you will know that there are some times in the year that you are using the same time with someone in the UK. Then there are other times that there is 1 hour difference. That's the reason. Be mindful of that, especially if you are arriving during that October, March region. So now, number 13, childcare and education. Ensure you enroll your children in the school. Obviously, there are lots of limitations because it's different from how it is in Nigeria. Here, there are age limits of when your child is supposed to be in school. There are lots of rules, there are lots of nuances in this, and I'm not very knowledgeable about that. So if you're a parent and you're in the UK, please shed more light, educate us more about how to navigate the childcare and education system. Now, number 14, prepare for the weather. In the UK, there is no dry season, rainy season, harmattan. We have the winter, the summer, the spring, the autumn, and it can just be a lot because sometimes summer can even feel like winter. Like, there are so many nuances to this conversation, but to a large extent, ensure that you are prepared for the season. Now, there is something called seasonal affective disorder, SAD, and it's extremely common in winter, and that's why we hear things like winter blues, winter depression, and it's not a joke. It is not a joke. So ensure that, number one, you have good support systems. Also, wear appropriate clothing. I'm talking to myself also because me, I like fashion. Sometimes I forget that. See weather. What are you wearing? Wherever you are going to, ensure that you're carrying good jackets. Now, UK weather is very unpredictable. You can be walking on the road and it's raining. In 2 minutes, it's sunny. In another minute, the weather is just very colo. So just ensure that you're aware of that. If you need to always be going out with an umbrella, especially during the winter season, that could be very helpful. As a person of color, please ensure you strap up on your vitamin D. Please, very important, because there is no sun. The sun here is never sunning enough. So you need that for your skin. You need that to prevent the seasonal depressions. If you're in the UK and you need to buy amazing African outfits, see, come to my fashion brand. Just check adazempire.com and you will see very beautiful peperempe Ankara outfits for my ladies. I beg, patronize me. Okay, thank you. My IG Adaeze Empire, TikTok Adaeze Empire, website adazempire.com. Thank you. Number 15, familiarize yourself with work holidays, pension, like things like that. Be familiar with them. In the UK, for a lot of jobs, they give you like 28 hours leave, depending on how long you're working with them, because it's the number of hours you work that determines the leave you will get. Familiarize yourself with that. Familiarize yourself with pension in your organization. Now, depending on your plan for being in the UK, if you have plans to be here long term, please have a pension. Usually your employer would enroll you into a pension scheme and they'll be contributing a part. You would also automatically be contributing a part, because before they pay your salary, they would usually deduct some portions in your pension. So that's something to take note of. Some people are even in this country for years and they don't even have access, like they've never actively opened their pension account. Please don't be like that. It is very, very important. Now, the holidays here are called bank holidays, and usually there are specific times in the year where we have those bank holidays. You can just Google bank holidays this year and that will really help you in planning for a lot of things. Number 16, manage culture shocks. Like, I could talk about a lot of things if I want to talk about culture shocks, and if you want me to have that conversation in the video, let me know, because in this UK, a lot of things will shock you. But no matter how shocked you are, don't panic. Manage yourself. Be patient. One thing about this UK is, when you get here, sometimes it can feel very overwhelming, like a lot. And you may have some situations that would shock you to your bones. But as I would always say, life would whine you. But do not panic, because even if you panic, it doesn't change anything. But when you are grounded, it helps you. So no matter the shock, because some of these shocks can actually be positive, but some can actually be negative. Whatever the case, learn to be patient with yourself and take these things a day at a time. And the next tip is managing your mental health and well-being. Now, as I said, it can be a lot sometimes, and it's okay to seek help. You can seek help from your university if you're studying. There would always be free counseling, like support services. That's something you can take advantage of. If you feel extremely overwhelmed, you can go to your GP. Remember that GP you registered with? Yes. And they can signpost you to organizations. In fact, there are a lot of organizations that can help you. That's something I've learned about the UK. Like, you have a lot of organizations ready to support you with your mental health. All you need to do is to search online. You will see. Now, you may not see the one that is particular to you, especially if you're a person of color, because sometimes it can be difficult to have that person that truly gets you, not the one you are telling something and they're understanding it differently, because obviously you people have like different lived experiences. Now, if you're in that situation, you can seek support of a therapist. Obviously, that's not going to be cheap, but to support yourself, ensure that you have adequate work-life balance. Like, that should always be present. And if you're studying, work-study life balance, like there should be balance, not the one that from school you are going to work, you are going back to school. People do it and it's definitely not the best. It leads to exhaustion. For some people, it even leads to, because it's not the best. There's just so much your body can handle before it starts breaking, and you should never let it get to that point at all. Number 18, beware of potential scams. Because you are new to the country, don't just lose guard. Don't think because you are in the UK, no one can scam you. There are literally people whose job it is to scam people online, and when they know you're new, they can prey on that. So before you pay for anything, ensure you are double checking. Before you sign any document, ensure you know what exactly you are getting yourself into. Now, tip 19, familiarize yourself with having a local church. Now, this pertains to Christians or whatever denomination you are, whatever belief you have a local community in that belief, because that helps you. Now, for my Christians, please get a church. Like, there are churches around. Now, the final tip is take it one step at a time, but have your exit plan. Exit plan for you can be that you'll be in this country forever and that is your exit plan. Like, that's perfect. For some people, it is, I come here, I work for 5 years, I go back to my country, and that is valid. Some people, I work here, I go over to another country, and that is valid. Now, the most important thing is you having a goal in mind. If you don't have a goal, you follow people to wherever they are going to, so you realize that you've just been a follower all your life and you've not taken charge of your own life. So ensure not to fall into that trap at all. Like, what's your goal for being in the UK? Have plans, be flexible. I pray for you that this country that you've come into is going to favor you. You are going to have divine ease and sweetness. Regardless of any challenge you face, your joy is not going to be lost. You're going to come out strong. You're going to make yourself, your parents, and God proud. Amen. I wish you the very best, my besties. And if you're new to this country or you're new to my channel, my loves, please subscribe to me. I'm going to be linking 2 videos that will be beneficial to you, and I'm going to see you in my next one. Until then, stay blessed, remain happy, and